and I'm looking forward to this one. This one looks hella stupid, which is what I'm here for. All right. Fox News. Utah GOP governor to Californians fleeing to his state due to crime, taxes, stay in California. Utah Governor Spencer Cox says his state is the best place in the country to start a business. So like already that's like two conflicting things. Why would you want people to stay in California? Like, fuck, don't come to Utah when Utah's such apparently a great place to start businesses, to be a small business owner. When you want more small business owners coming in and revitalizing your economy, or are you going to do the no, we're full, get out like people do at the border? Maybe that's it. It's all right. Let's get into it. Utah's Republican governor suggested Friday that California residents who are looking to join the recent population exodus into Republican states like Utah should stay in California. Now, here's the thing. Number one, I don't know if this mass exodus is happening. All right, I'm going to look at the numbers because I almost guarantee Fox News won't provide them because it's better to say something is happening and that it feels like something is happening or that someone is talking about something happening. If you look, Utah's Republican governor suggested Friday that California residents who are looking to join the recent population exodus into Republican states like Utah should stay in California. This right here is what Fox News wants to tell you. This is how they get away with not putting it out there as fact, right? This is how they say something with no factual basis to back it up. Utah's Republican governor suggested, and then everything after that can be literal bullshit. It could say Utah's Republican governor suggested that baby eating Democrats stay the fuck out of his state, as all baby eating Democrats that have been coming into his state have been lowering the baby count. And they never have to address whether or not Democrats are eating babies or they're moving into this guy's state so they can eat babies, or maybe Utah babies are uniquely tasty or whatever. They never have to address that. And the reason they never have to address it is because they started by saying, this is what someone suggests. And then if they agree with it, they can just leave it there and let it float. And no one can do anything about it because they said, well, that's not what Fox News is saying, guys. That's not what Fox News is saying. That is what the Utah governor is saying. So just like that, they get out of essentially any sort of culpability, which, I mean, fucking good for you, I guess. Play the legal system to say some nasty shit. Gotta love it. But we're gonna see, like I said, whether they provide figures, and if they do provide figures, we'll look at them. But if they don't, we're gonna pull up figures ourselves to see if it's real. All right, we are having the opposite problem. This last census confirmed that Utah was the fastest growing state in the last 10 years, Utah Governor Spencer Cox told reporters outside the White House after New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy discussed ways he will encourage people to move to his state. So our biggest problem are more growth related. We would love for people to stay in California instead of coming as refugees to Utah. So we're always trying to figure that out. As refugees. Okay. Cox explained that the biggest problems his state faces in terms of growth are housing and water. Maybe don't have a shitty state. We're not working to attract more people, Cox said. We're doing just fine that way. Utah was named the best state to start a business, with Texas and Florida number 2 and 3. So we feel really good about that balance and where we are right now. Murphy joked, we'll take some of your folks into New Jersey. Wow, what a fucking excellent human. Cox's remarks come as Californians have fled the Golden State at record numbers in recent years due to a variety of reasons that include high taxes, crime, coronavirus lockdowns, homelessness, and skyrocketing house prices. California saw its population fall by more than 343,000 people in 2022, which was one of the biggest population declines by any state. We'll check that. The Los Angeles Times report this week outlined how some residents of Nevada, Utah's neighbor to the west, were upset about the influx of Californians flocking to their state. I don't know, dude. Fucking deal with it. This shit's so funny because you can do it on any lines. This xenophobia shit. These are Americans. Californians, whether you like it or not, are Americans. And you're doing the same, like, stay in your country type stuff that you would do to someone from a different country. It just shows that there's no actual underlying basis for any of it. It's all just dumb tribalism. A lot of people that have lived here for a long time, they don't like Californians, one resident told the outlet in an article that outlined the many reasons why Californians have fled to Nevada in recent years and placed a burden on state resources. Maybe have a better state. Fox News Digital reached out to the office of California Governor Gavin Newsom and did not immediately receive a response. Notice that word? I bet they've received a response and they're just not willing to publish it. Look, that's the end of the article. I guarantee Gavin Newsom gave Fox News a response, and it just looks better if you ignore whatever Gavin Newsom has to say. Guarantee it. This is the one-side politics, baby. What you're hearing is Republicans bitching about Democrats, Republicans bitching about Democrats, Republicans bitching about Democrats, all the way up, all the way down, right? Which is fine. That's fine. It's Fox News. That's what we expect. But I just don't want to hear anybody be like, you know, this is objective. This is objective news with no bias. Because why would you have to add something like this immediately? We were going to publish it, but you know, what I learned is that once you put something on the internet, like, there's no way to get it off, right? You can't edit it ever. You can't, like, adjust it. So once an article goes up, I mean, it's up forever. You can't fix it. You can't add something. Like, come on, don't play fucking games with us. We know you're a multi-billion-dollar company. I think you know how to edit an article to add an additional statement from somebody you said didn't give a response. But I'm kind of curious. So we're gonna look right here. It's got a link. More than 343,000 people in 2022 moved is what it says, right? So let's see. High tax state exit. Okay, so it's going to be another Fox News one. So let's not go to Fox, all right? Instead, let's see. Is the California exodus oh no. Oh no. You guys ready? From well-known communist source, The Guardian, the much discussed California exodus isn't real. This is what I mean. Just do, when you hear something that sounds wild, right? Like, whether you agree with it or not. Like, if I heard something about, like, Medicare for all being implemented in a state, I'd be like, no fucking way. Let's try. Let's check it and see. So the California exodus isn't real, study finds. Now, again, I could do the Tim Pool and read that and then go on an hour of commentary talking about how stupid Fox News is. But instead, I'm going to read the article first, then make my commentary as we go, right? The idea of a California exodus that has seen waves of residents abandon the state has been steadily gaining steam, but new research has revealed it appears to be more myth than reality. Researchers from a consortium of universities, including Berkeley, UCLA, Cornell, and Stanford, teamed up in the fall of 2020 to study California's population. Their finding, released this week, determined there was no evidence of an abnormal increase in residents planning to move out of the state. Now, I want you to notice something. This is from 2020. So if they're talking about numbers from 2022, that's something we have to look at, right? Right? See how you do your own research? You check the numbers back and forth, right? I had some dude in one of my comments section complaining about, like, some stuff with Hunter Biden when he didn't even know what year Hunter Biden was working for Burisma. So it's important to remember that timelines have to add up. And in this case, even though this gives me pretty solid evidence that it's all made up, because if back in 2020 they had to investigate it, it means that it's been going on for a while. And I remember it going on at least since Trump was president. So yeah, it's been going on for a while. People complaining about the California exodus. But if they're talking about 2022 numbers, I think it's important to look at the 2022 numbers. This was published more than a year ago. So we will get rid of that one and we'll go back and try again. See that? That's how you keep your research 100% accurate, best of your ability. I'm seeing a lot of articles that are old, but we're looking. All right, we're just gonna go with Wikipedia on this one. Okay, sorry. The Guardian says it's fake, but like I said, I want to try and give you guys the best we can, so we're looking at it. Okay, so this is the California exodus is an alleged emigration of residents and businesses from California to other U.S. states, especially Texas and Florida. The cause and the existence of this migration has been extensively debated. The term became popular during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some have disputed the existence of a California exodus, criticizing its narrative. So, California became a part of the U.S., blah, blah, blah. Like much of the land taken in the Mexico War, California had only a small native population. However, the California Gold Rush, so this is just background on this. According to the California Department of Finance, the state had 135,000 more people move out than moved in from July 1st, 2019 to July 1st, 2020, which, given what's the population? 39 million? Wow. The state has had a net loss of domestic migrants every year since about 1989. And in the period from 2015 to 2019, it had a net loss of 100,000 domestic migrants per year due to more Californians moving to other states than vice versa. According to Census Bureau, estimate 6 million people have left the state in the 2010s decade, while 4 million moved in for a net loss of 1 million people. So, like, if you were to do like a picture of that, that's like what, 0.2%? It's, come on, get out of here. The change visible to state migration flows in 1950 to 1960, the 10 largest state-to-state migration flows involving California all had the state as the recipient of people. This contrasted with the period from 1995 to 2000, where 9 of the 10 largest flows involving the state had California as a net loser, with only New York sending more people to California than it received in return. So this is like natural demographic shifts. If you go from 40 million people to 39.2 million people, that doesn't, okay, like, okay, all right. So it was just shy of 40 million in 2020. So if you look, we're looking at the population, California, right? And you can just look at this from the Census Bureau, right? Go up, 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 up. This, what is this big dip? What was that? Right here. So right now, it peaked at 39.44, right? And now we're at 39.24, meaning at its peak, there were what, 400 or 200,000 extra people in California. So the mass exodus just isn't happening. It's literally just not happening. Based on census data, it's not happening, which is fucking crazy. So yeah, all right, good stuff.